Okay, so you are here to find out whether the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite is still worth it. This, by the way, is the 2022 model. You want to know if it's still worth it in the year 2024. Let's go ahead and talk about it. First things first, the straight answer is yes, it is still worth it in 2024. Otherwise, I would not have recommended for many of you to pick up this tablet back, in November and December at those crazy discounted prices. Now, that being said, this could be subjective to a certain extent, simply because if you are in the market looking for a productivity tablet, then the S6 Lite here may not be the one for you. You might want to pick up something like, Tab S9 or the S8 or an iPad Pro or anything in that category. Now, if you are watching this video, the chances are you are in the market for this tablet here. And one thing that I want to go ahead and highlight from the get-go is that the Tab S6 Lite provides fantastic value for the money. Back during Black Friday with all of those, holiday deals, you could have picked up this tablet for about $199. That deal or that price is insane. It is really, really good given what this tablet here has to offer. And with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about what it offers that makes it so that it is worth your money even in 2024, a good year and a half after its release. The first thing I want to highlight here is going to be the Samsung S Pen. I'm going to talk to you as if you are new, to the tablet world, and you are just looking at this, maybe trying to learn a bit more about the tablet itself. Well, I'm going to tell you that I have made comprehensive reviews on this tablet, so if by the end of this video you still need additional details, make sure to watch those videos. But anyway, so this tablet here is, at this point, a mid-range / budget tablet, because you can go out there and find budget tablets that can't do half of what the S6 Lite here can do at the same price. Meaning there are budget tablets out there that would run you a good $180, $190, $200, whereas with this tablet here, you get access to the S Pen. This thing is loaded with a number of features not available on a number of other tablets, and this comes included. In the box, it's going to offer you fantastic stylus user experience. Of course, you'll be able to sign documents, draw with this guy here, drag and drop. You can take down notes and then turn those notes into text. It can do a number of things, much more than any entry-level stylus that you can find out there. The next feature that makes this tablet worth it is the support for Samsung Dex. Many of you may not know what Samsung Dex is, but it's essentially a feature that turns your tablet here into a desktop, right? It makes it so that it mimics the look of a desktop. And with that, you have the ability to multitask in a much, much better way, right? Because you're able to toggle in between different windows. You can essentially play with windows the same way you would on an actual computer. And that feature itself, Samsung Dex, that is, there is nothing out there that compares to it. Well, maybe not that compare. You do have a few things out there that try to do what Samsung Dex does, but nothing comes close to what it has to offer. So to those of you who are students, or maybe you need to do some level of multitasking, moderate level of multitasking, this would be the perfect tablet for you, especially if you are on a budget. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and cover the tablet itself. I'm not going to go deep into the specs here. It is a modern look, as you can see here. Portability on this tablet here is just awesome. It's a dense, it feels dense here, but it's a pretty light tablet. So if you are on the go, this would be perfect for you. The processing power here is definitely mid-range level. It's a Snapdragon 720G for the Wi-Fi model, and I believe the LTE model is the Snapdragon 732G. Either way, performance is definitely mid-range here. You should expect, light work, moderate work, and even some level of heavy work to be okay here. And I have to warn you, if you go very heavy, the tablet itself won't be able to handle it. And by that I mean it's going to crash or it simply will stutter. The display here is 10.4 inches, so it's pretty convenient to hold it if you're watching a movie. Maybe you're just lounging on the couch, you're watching a movie, holding the tablet up, or even if you're in bed, it's pretty light and at the same time not so small that it's actually uncomfortable, right? It's a very nice display here. It's a TFT display, by the way. In case you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. TFT display, 1200 by 2000 is the resolution here. So the pixel density here, it's pretty decent, right? So they're fairly mushed together. Picture quality, pretty sharp for what it is, right? For what you're spending the money on. Colors are fairly vibrant. You can watch movies here. You can watch your videos, play games here. Gaming here is actually pretty nice as well. Now, remember, it's a mid-range tablet, so don't expect for this to play crazy heavy games where you could actually use this as your gaming tablet, right? It will struggle. You're definitely going to be able to download those heavy games, but they will struggle to play well. Unless, of course, you adjust the settings and keep them low, then you can enjoy the game. But when it comes down to just light gaming, moderate level of gaming, you'll be just fine, which is, by the way, the vast majority of games, in the Google Store are pretty much light to moderate level. So you should be able to play a vast majority of games here without any issues. The battery is good here, pretty decent size at 7040 milliamp, which is roughly, I'm going to say, the average size of a tablet about this size, right? So it should last you about a day. In terms of SOT, so screen on time, I'm looking at roughly 6 hours. Now I'm actually looking at less than that, and that's going to translate to roughly about a day, depending on how you use your tablet. Obviously, if you spend your time on here just doing heavy things, you may end up killing it faster. But as far as the battery goes, definitely should be able to see an entire day. When it comes to the physical features here, you still do have a headphone jack here. You do have a USB Type-C port here for data transfer and also for charging the tablet. You have a dual speaker setup here, so the speakers, one on each side here. Pretty good placement if you're watching a movie. That way you do not cover the speakers. In terms of the camera there, you have a 5 megapixel front-facing camera and an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera there. They're not the best, right? They are what they are for the price, right? Pretty good for scanning documents and even, shooting videos. For sure, you'll be okay with it. Now, in terms of video calling, you can certainly take or make your video calls here without any issues. What I typically suggest is that when you do that, make sure that the setting that you are in is well lit, right? Because these cameras are not the top-notch cameras that you would find on the flagship. Now, another thing that you need to keep in mind about the S6 Lite is that, when it dropped, it was set to be supported for up to 4 years. Now we're about a year and a half into it, so you still have a couple years left of support. Now, 2.5, close to 3 years of support. That is security, of course. You have you were set to have 3 major updates, and then of course 4 of security updates. I want to highlight this because many people tend to have questions about this. They always wonder whether the tablet would still work after, the support from Samsung ends. And the answer is yes. Your tablet is set to work until, the wheels fall off, right? So it's just that Samsung will stop sending you those updates, but your tablet still is going to work. Just make sure that, of course, you maintain your tablet well so that you can hold on as long as possible. And the last thing I want to mention here is that my unit here is 64 gigs of internal storage. It has 64 gigs of internal storage, expandable at up to 1 terabyte. It also does have 4 gigs of RAM. Now you could go for the 128 gigs of internal storage. That also would be expandable at up to 1 terabyte. Typically what I do is I would advise to go for the cheaper model, the 64 gigs, and expand that. Use the extra money to just buy a micro SD card and expand that storage at up to 1 terabyte. But that's just me. I'm going to have some links in the description if you want to go ahead and check out what the current price is on here. Those links are, dynamic links, so they will take you to the current best deal on this tablet here. But that's just my take here. I wanted to just, reiterate that the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite here is definitely still worth it. Remember, a couple months ago, I was pushing a lot of you, who were in the market for a budget tablet to go for this because the price was really good. So I did that because I knew that even in 2024, it would still be a very relevant tablet. Anyways, let me know what any questions you may have. Did you pick up this guy here? If you did, let me know in the comment section. Are you currently looking to pick up one of these? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure to share this video. Make sure to like the video, by the way, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm going to catch you in the comment section like I always do. And I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.